So tiny. Look how many of them there are. The breeding activity has been completely insane. This is a super easy project, but super cool, super easy, super cheap. Benji the Bengal loves getting up and looking inside. Boom! Say hello to my little friend. Check out this little friend, guys. This little freaking crazy air pump that I bought that is so loud. Oh my goodness, it's so loud. Today, guys, we built an awesome mini indoor guppy pond. A mini indoor guppy pond that you can build so easy for dirt cheap or potentially free, depending on what kind of fish keeping stuff that you already have. You could use this mini indoor pond as like a decoration in the main part of your house. Mine is here in the fish room right here. It's freaking awesome. We have a very unique, very unconventional breeding group for the guppy pond, and it's pretty awesome. I'm going to show you how I built this. I'm going to show you what's inside this pond, why I put what I did in this pond, the filtration, the temporary lighting that's on it, how I maintain it, to give you an overall view of, do you actually want to do this in? So guys, as you know, if you've been here a little while, I love ponds. I used to have a pond out here on my back porch. Well, I'm not going to take you out there because my obnoxious dogs are out there and they're going to go crazy. But I had a massive pool pond, 1,000+ gallons, that's actually in here. We're going to do something pretty awesome though in the meantime with this pond. Something that entails wild caught fish native to this area. It's going to be epic. We also have this pond. If you saw the video, my pet alien catfish that I bought, which will be linked in this video, you saw this 150-gallon Rubbermaid pond. That pond is going to be sick, guys. You are not going to want to miss that pond. That's going to be something definitely different. It's been done before. So guys, that pond is going to be sick. You're not going to want to miss it. But we built yet another sick pond out of a little container for guppies. It's crazy. So getting into this pond, guys, literally, okay, so you could put whatever you want in this pond. Well, I shouldn't say whatever you want, because then somebody's going to build like a 35-gallon mini Oscar pond, and that's just really not going to work out in the long run. But you know, small fish, if you're doing something mini like this, you want to keep something in your house with some wildlife in it, maybe some minnows, some rosy red minnows, maybe some shrimp. Well, I mean, like, the possibilities are pretty much endless. But we have this mini guppy pond, and we're pretty much, it's an oddball group of guppies. I'm going to show you what it is. It's kind of something that you don't see every day, and some different things that I do to get them to breed, because ultimately what I wanted to start doing is breaking some of these pairs off, or breaking some of these guppies apart into groups, breeding them as a food source for monster fish, because food gets expensive when you have monster fish. They like to eat a lot. What I have here is like some cut up aquarium plants. These are little things you can make yourself. If you have some old aquarium plants laying around, you can do so much with plastic stuff. What I did was I cut these up, and these float right on top for cover. Now I took all these out for purposes of the video, but we're going to put them all back in the guppy pond, so then you can see what it looks like with the cover in. I mean, it's completely your preference, but you can do some pretty incredible things with some plastic aquarium plants. Like, for example, right over here, in this tank here, all this stuff, guys, I made out of old aquarium plants that I cut up, bundled up with zip ties, and then simply just, you know, potted them, gave them a whole different look, you know, burying them inside driftwood and stuff like that. Cutting up leaves. Look at these. These are all little leaves off of old aquarium plants that I just cut up, put on there for some cover, gave it kind of this natural vibe. A little bit of a different vibe. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. So let's check out miniature guppy pond. Okay, guys. So a brief overview. This container right here, it's like a faux whiskey barrel. These have become increasingly popular in landscaping. Now, this is like a Rubbermaid material. It is not toxic to your fish. I bought this at Tractor Supply for about $15 a long time ago. This used to be the mini turtle pond until I gave my turtle away to somebody who really wanted one. So we repurposed this and I gave it a new life again. Going inside the pond, or let's start on top. This light here, an Aquaneat full spectrum LED light, this is completely temporary. It's got brackets on the side. I am not worried at all about it falling in at all. I mean, it literally couldn't fall in unless I picked it up and like physically threw it inside the pond. That is just temporary. I'm going to go with some clip lights on the back. As far as filtration goes, we have a simple box filter. Okay, a box filter. You may or may not have seen these. You could use a box filter. You could use something like a sponge filter, a mini sponge filter. The possibilities are endless with filtration. You could even probably put a really small can, whatever you wanted to do. There's a small heater in here that's not even on. And then inside here, for multiple purposes, we have a ton of lava rock. Tons of lava rock. That serves as decoration. That serves as hiding spots for guppy fry. Let me take a close look because you probably couldn't see this from the start. But do you see all the guppy fry, guys? I'm trying to get the camera at just the right angle. They're literally everywhere. They're so tiny. So tiny. Look how many of them there are. It's incredible. I love watching these little tiny guppy fry. But this is also going to serve as hiding spots, which is definitely crucial in guppy breeding. I mean, I think any guppy breeder would probably agree that ample hiding places is definitely crucial. Could I have more? Yes, but it would take away from the overall appearance of making this a pond, making it like an aesthetically pleasing piece. But what lava rock also does, if you've been around my channel for a while, I use lava rock in literally all my canister filters as biological media. It's a very porous rock that's inert. It's not going to do anything to your water parameters, and it harbors beneficial bacteria like none other. We also have some little bushy, here's another one of those little pieces I cut off here. See? Some little bushy plastic plants in here. Just, extra little hiding spots, more aesthetically pleasing stuff. Stuff that can be customized and changed later. And then we have a bed of crushed coral. So in this old guppy paradise, we used to have black diamond blasting media. That's a common substrate I use. You guys know I use it in my 125. I use it in a lot of other tanks. Black diamond blasting media. So there's a whole layer of it on the bottom. On the top, I then went with a layer of crushed coral. I did this for two reasons. I did that to harden up my water for the guppies, but I also did that to make the pond bright. Something that can turn people off from, making ponds or guppy pond or a pond in general is a lot of ponds that you see, like essentially like a pond liner is dark, and a lot of times it's hard to see your fish. So you can combat that with substrate colors like crushed coral, or say maybe you have a fish that doesn't like hard water. You could use something like pool filter sand or playground sand, or Quick Creek makes all-purpose sand, a light bottom so your light can reflect, so you can actually see what's going on inside your pond. And I mean, it really makes a huge difference as far as aesthetics, as far as being able to see your fish, see what's going on. It's just really, really cool. So keep that in mind. Okay guys, as far as the breeding group of guppies that we have in here, like I said, it's a lot of it on the unconventional side of the house. If you remember, I started this this breeding group out with about 12 feeder females. 12 feeder females. Feeder females have no color. They're literally a plain, like literally a wild guppy. They have no color. There's two feeder males in here, which the feeder males actually, as they grow into adults, look pretty cool. But in a pond setting, it's almost hard to tell the difference because feeder males are pretty small. There's one over here you can kind of see the difference in. But we have this guy right here. You see him? Hold on, we'll wait till he comes out of this. I'm sorry about this reflection, guys. Lighting is definitely something I'm going to be changing immediately on this pond. But we have a feeder male in here. Let me see if I can actually dip net him out, or at least get him out here. So he's right down here. Can you see him, guys? Right there. He's a mutt fancy tail. Extremely, extremely cool looking. I think I actually have a picture of him. I'll insert it here, and you can see exactly what he looks like. But he's been breeding like wildfire with these feeder females, and you can see, if you look very, very closely, really, really concentrate, you can see all the guppy fry that are swimming around. I mean, the breeding activity has been completely insane. I mean, he's definitely putting in some work inside, guppy paradise, and I'm sure he'll continue to do so here in Guppy Pond. I'm interested to see what kind of color variants we can get out of that. I don't know. I'm not a huge guppy person, guys. I initially bought guppies because my son likes guppies, and that's what fish keeping is all about. keeping what you like, getting the family involved. And then we slowly turned this into a pond, and now he loves the pond even more. Before we go any further, let's touch a little bit on maintenance. Okay, when you have a fish like guppies, which is like the easiest fish in the entire world to breed. That being said, your fish are going to multiply at a rapid rate. If you go back to the video where I started this with literally 12 guppies. There's, I don't even want to know how many there is in there right now, which is why I use a ton of lava rock for beneficial bacteria to constantly establish. I use a box filter that's modified with media, and the great thing about the pond is you can upgrade filtration, you can add more filters. But what I do on a daily basis with this pond and when it was in a tank is it got a 10% water change. So maintenance, know what you're keeping. If you're not going to put guppies in there, just know what you're keeping. Have water test kits on hand, guys. You don't have to buy a pond test kit for something like this. You can use an aquarium test kit, that's just fine. And just test your water. Figure out where your levels are, dial in when you're going to have to do your water changes and stuff like that, so you're not having fish dying, and you can enjoy your pond, because it's really cool. It's an acquired taste. It's super, super cool to look at fish from the top down. It's completely different than looking through glass, and it gives you a whole different perspective. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you my, my little homemade floating decker or floating cover that we're going to put in here. When you're breeding fish like this, guppy love cover. They love places to hide. The females like places that they can hide when they're breeding, especially when you're doing it the natural way. I can't readily get a hold of guppy grass or any good type of moss, so I literally just cut up some fake aquarium plants that float. I put them in here just like this, as you can see. This is a super, super easy project you can do. It's super cool if you have kids. Kids can get up close and personal with the fish. I'm a firm believer that fish keeping is a great family hobby. I mean, if you can get the family involved, it's super, super fun. My son loves fish keeping. He loves feeding the fish. For me, this build was technically completely free. I built it out of everything that I had here already in the fish room. So here's what it looks like with all the cover, guys. I personally love this. You'll see guppy fry will always swim up and in this. You can still, the way I cut it up, you can still see through it, so you can see the guppies swimming around in here. A lot of them are hiding right now because they're really not sure what's going on. There's that fancy male down there. But super, super cool, super easy, super cheap. You can use literally whatever you want. You can put it really anywhere in your house. Know what you're putting in your pond, guys. Responsible fish keeping. Make sure you're cycling your pond. Cycling your pond just like you're cycling a fish tank. I know it can get exciting and just want to throw one of these ponds together and dump a bunch of fish in it real quick. You will save yourself a lot of heartache and money if you just do some research. Be patient just for a little bit. I'm like the most impatient person in the world, that if I can do it, you can do it. So make sure you do your research. Cycling, the fish that you're keeping, checking those water parameters, making sure that you are doing your maintenance, because overall that's what's going to make the experience awesome. Get your kids involved, your wife involved. Smash the like button, guys, if you liked this video. We'll go back in, one look, another look at our little mini pond down here. So awesome. Really, really cool pond, guys. Really, really cool. You can see the activity. I'm just going to hold the camera still. The fry are almost impossible to see, but they're already, as you can see right here, making their way into the grass, in through it. There's some tiny, tiny fry. I don't know if you can see there, like microscopic tiny. And Benji the Bengal, guys. Benji the Bengal loves getting up and looking inside mini guppy pond. Don't you, Benji the Bengal? Pretty awesome, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. I greatly appreciate your time. I will see you on the next video.